What's going on, everybody? It is your king back at it again with another discussion video. I know it's been about a couple months since I did one of these, but now I'm back. And over the course of the next couple of months, or possibly the next couple of weeks, you're going to be seeing a bit more of these discussion videos alongside with some new content that I'm going to be uploading very soon, possibly the day after or a couple hours after I upload this video. So you read the title correctly. It's about why Mascot games are my favorite type of games. Not necessarily my favorite of all time, but definitely the top 5 games that I enjoy watching other YouTubers play. Now, to kick it off already, I'm going to start off with the predecessor, or should I really say the game that started it all, Fnaf. And the biggest reason why Fnaf holds a certain place in my heart isn't because of the lore behind everything or how everything led it up to it is now, but it's pretty much the animatronics and the designs of the animatronics. Like, ever since FNAF 2, the designs of the animatronics have really what pulled me into the franchise, especially when you take at the withered animatronics, because when you think, not necessarily as a fear factor, but as a creepy factor. I know fear and creepy kind of coincides with each other, but what I'm trying to say is when you think of a broken down animatronic, the withers are like a prime example. Because, like, with Bonnie missing his face and also his arm, and then you got Chica with her broken jaw and missing both of her hands, like, that's something that most people would not think of when it comes to a broken down animatronic. And Scott pretty much beat them to it when he created the game. And then when you move further down the line with future FNAF games like 3, 4, but Sister Location really seals the deal, especially when it took a whole different turn of gameplay style, and not to mention the lore, because when everybody knows back then, who are pure veterans of FNAF, when Sister Location came out, the timeline, when everybody was trying to figure out where Sister Location fit into the timeline, everybody was confused because the animatronics just look so futuristic. It's like, wait, is this happening in the future, or is this happening in the past, or is this somewhere in the middle? But for me, it was the designs, because, like, and not to mention 2 new, the animatronics, because we already have Freddy, Bonnie, Foxy, but of course, Chica was thrown out of the equation completely. But then they gave us Ballora and Circus Baby. Now, guys, this is foreshadowing of a video that I probably won't do 4 months from now, or possibly sooner than that. But I may end up doing a playlist of my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics. And spoilers, Baby's part of that list. Not going to tell you where she places, but just know that she's on that list. Anyway, and further down the line, the lore, especially behind Baby, because at first she kind of seems like, oh, she wants to help the protagonist, who, whoever we're playing as, even though everybody knows who we're playing as. She seems nice at first, but then as the nights progress, you obviously see that she obviously, like, she has her own agendas, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this, yeah, because this is her opportunity to finally escape the facility after so many years of just being trapped down there, along with the other animatronics. But then, of course, further down the line, she and the other animatronics had a squabble, they split, which led to FNAF 6. And everybody at this point knows what happens there. And not to mention further down the line, to get to the latest installments, Security Breach. Now, guys, I'm just going to come out and say it. Security Breach, over the couple years, including Ruin, has over time become my most favorite FNAF games out of the franchise. Not solely based on gameplay, but mainly the storytelling and the lore. And over time, it's like this is a completely different setup to where, people thought the story was going to go. I understand that, some people still have some problems with it because the way people thought it was going to be set up, but then it just ended up being meh. I still loved it though, as did pretty much every other single YouTuber who has played the game at this point. The designs of the animatronics, like Freddy, Chica, Monty, Roxy, really astonishes me. But at the same time, like I said, the lore behind it all is what really got me, because it's like we always thought, wait, why is there an alligator animatronic instead of Bonnie? And of course, once we got ruined, we understand why. And then we literally find Bonnie's body near Bunny Bowl behind a wall, surrounded by these sign bots. And guys, I just want to go on record to let you guys know a bit of something. I honestly don't believe that Monty could have been responsible for Bonnie's death. I still think that it had to have been somebody else. And I may put out a little theory video, who I think it is. I'm not sure when I'll upload it, but eventually one day I will. But anyway, yeah. So now moving on from Fnaf, I want to go on to the next part, that being Poppy Playtime. Now, guys, when the first chapter of Poppy Playtime came out, I kind of actually fell in love solely based on the fact of its main protagonist being Huggy Wuggy. Like, when you first walk into the facility, you look over, you see a tall, I want to say, like, he has to be at least 12 foot tall, right? A 12 foot tall furry toy who looks like he couldn't hurt a fly. Then after a while, when we do a couple of missions and stuff, we look back out there and he's gone. So after we do a couple of more little missions, we try to walk through a dark corridor, and then he just pops right out. Like, that is a good introduction to a late introduction to the game. And of course, chase sequence ensues. We drop a box down. Huggy falls supposedly to his death. I still think he may be alive, honestly, but that's not the point. Now, what intrigued me the most is kind of like, who is Huggy and how did he get this way? I mean, of course, we all know how he got that way, but it's like, who is he? Because we always thought that we had to figure out who Huggy was, experiment 006, but that turns out to be the prototype. And then, like, we found out who Mommy's name was, Kissy's, and supposedly who Poppy is, but we still don't know who the supposed face of Poppy Playtime, like Huggy, we still don't know who he is, and we don't even know if he's still alive. And moving on to chapter 2, with Mommy, I honestly have to say, when it comes as to a villain-wise, when it comes to the fear factor, I would put her below Huggy, but as term as an overall villain, above Huggy. Because, she can talk, and, she's obviously much more intelligent than Huggy, considering the fact that she was able to recognize us immediately. The fact that, oh, I remember you used to work here. That was such a horrible voice. But yeah, like, she recognizes, she knows that we used to work here, and tries to, get us to fail at these games, but we keep succeeding. And over time, she's just getting angrier and angrier. And then when it comes to her death, she says, "What have you done? He'll make me a part of him." And we're wondering who is him. And then we end up seeing who is him. It's the prototype. He drags what's left of mommy away, and then we're stuck dumbfounded as to what's going on. And now, down to chapter 3, we have literally the scariest chapter. Possibly won't be the last scary chapter. We have Catnap and the Smiling Critters. Now, guys, when it comes to lore, this chapter is just littered with it. Like, who are the Smiling Critters? Like, we know, obviously, Catnap, further down the line, that he used to be a kid named Theodore. And over time, when he got turned into Catnap, he obviously worshipped, the prototype like a deity. Because, we don't know this, but it's more than likely over behind the shadows, the prototype has probably been treating Catnap all kind and stuff like that. And in return, Catnap has been nothing but loyal and doing everything that the prototype says, but possibly being blinded behind what the prototype was truly up to. Hence why the prototype possibly killed Catnap, because this is like, you failed me for the last time, or possibly this is the first time Catnap has probably failed, and it's like, I don't need you anymore. It's really even more kind of like, it's at the same time, it's kind of hard to feel sad or sorry for Catnap because of everything that he's done. But at the same time, it's important to remember deep down in Catnap is still the mind of a child, basically. And it's really even more messed up when you possibly end up thinking what was going through Catnap's head when the prototype, like, he probably had like a couple of seconds of thought before he just inevitably just died. And it really makes you boggle your head even more. Like, what is the prototype's main game out here? Like, what does he want? Like, and is he the ultimate cause of just everything? Is he the cause of all the toys just going wild and killing everybody? Time will tell. And I'm just honestly excited for chapter 4. Like, I could hardly even wait. And now, guys, a very special type of Mascot series that holds a certain place in my heart is the Garden of Banban. Now, everybody at this point knows this game. It's been around for, like 7 months, possibly a little bit more, a little bit less. It's been around for a while. And over time, it ended up being one of the most ridiculed Mascot games, to arguably now being one of the most beloved out there. Because obviously when it comes to horror, it really doesn't come across as horror anymore because the jump scares are very lackluster, but when they do happen, you do kind of jump every now and then. But obviously for everybody, when it comes down to these things, it isn't the scares we're looking for, it's the lore. And Garden of Banban is just littered with, like, if you were to think of a Mascot game that has lore, Garden of Banban is it. Like, it really is it. Like, it's possibly the dumpster for lore. Like, you could just find all kinds of lore in it. And the reason why I love it so much is because deep down, I just want to know, like, what really happened here. Like, I mean, we probably get a good idea what happened here, but what truly happened here? Because as the chapters progress, we end up, like, getting a very clear idea of what may have happened. And each adventure just gets even crazier at the last, which I absolutely love. But one question that definitely boggles me is, like, who is the new character that we see in the mural at the end of chapter 7, whose name is supposedly Flumbo? Now, guys, little side theory here, but I genuinely believe that Flumbo was possibly the first and original Banban But over time, incidents started happening, and I honestly believe, now call me crazy, you guys may prove me wrong about this, but I believe Flimbo may have possibly been responsible for an incident that happened before the pitball incident with the kids, which we all know Ban Ban is more than likely responsible for. And maybe an incident, like I theorized, like the incident probably happened before that, and which is why when we first go up there on the first floor of the garden, we only see a mural of just Ban Ban. Like Flumbo's nowhere to be seen. I believe that there had, like I said, there had to have been an incident that happened before the ball pin incident, which is why Ban Ban is now the star of the show, which hence why it's called Garden of Ban Ban. And like Garden of Flimbo, like that really doesn't roll off the tongue. And why Ban Ban is now the star of the show, and why Flimbo is possibly, like, why he was cast aside, he was thrown out, he was replaced, and why Ban Ban probably locked him away inside that thing for possibly so long, like for years, possibly on end, like. And that's what I love so much about Garden of Ban Ban. Like, it makes me want to know more. And finally, guys, the last game that I want to talk about that immediately made me fall in love is Indigo Park. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, open a new tab or something in YouTube, type in Indigo Park, you'll see what I mean. Like, as the story goes, we're obviously, I'm assuming to be a young explorer. We're exploring the park after everything that happened here, and we meet Ramsley Raccoon. And guys, when Ramsley starts talking to us, and he just, when he says, you could tell that he's not evil at all. Like, he's trying to be, like, he's genuine, like he's a really nice guy, because it's possibly been decades since he's seen a real life human being. And with him being stuck at the front entrance for so long, not really looking around to see that the entire park has just gone to absolute crap. And when so many bad things end up happening, like when the bird character ends up getting like fatality'd and everything, like her head literally rolls, Ramsley decides to come clean, like, hey, everything's in disarray. And you could just tell in his voice that he just seems sincerely sorry and just sad, because he probably didn't think this would have happened, or that he didn't want this to happen. And, and he, begs us to, help him restore the park or try to fix everything. Guys, me personally, I mean, I don't know if I would be abandoning, go exploring in an abandoned amusement park. I mean, if I would, I probably would at least carry some protection with me. But in this scenario, I probably would, because I would be curious as to what happened here. And the ending song for, chapter 1 of Indigo Park, chapter 1, if we can call it that, the ending song, that was just something else. And of course, like, it was just so catchy. I'm pretty sure I replayed the song at least 12 times. And not to mention the fact that, randomly saying, come back soon, please. Because it really, that please at the end of the song really signifies of how alone Ramsley probably is, even though he's had his friends and everything. But it's like his friends have just gone wild and he hasn't. And it's like, it really makes you think, like, how did everything go so wrong? How did the park go to absolute ruins? That's what I want to know. And another thing that I kind of want to discuss about Indigo Park is how there are some people out there talking about how Indigo Park is a ripoff or a wannabe Gurren band. Like, I'm pretty sure if you guys have, watched some Indigo Park videos, there's at least a couple, there's at least one video of a specific YouTuber, not going to mention his name, but he knows who he is if he ever watches this video. And him just talking about how it's a ripoff of Gurren the Band. First of all, how? Second of all, shut up, because you just talking nonsense at this point. He knows who he is if he ever sees this video. Not going to mention any names, but he knows who he is. And like, first of all, in what way is an amusement part about an AI raccoon, supposedly a sentient AI raccoon, showing us around a destroyed park full of his friends who have gone full on crazy and have blood, which is red, and not Givanium, which is green. Sorry about that, y'all. I just had to let that out. But anyway, yeah. And it's like, and it's always so crazy because how you would think how Indigo Park would follow the same trope as Mascot games, like how evil corporation, a corrupted or evil corporation, and then you got the main bad guy who is just pulling the strings deep down, and then you got the mascots coming to life when they shouldn't be, either possessed by kid spirits or transformed into some sort of toy, or mutated by some weird green ooze, or I'm not sure what I can say about Indigo Park, but just becoming a monster and trying to hurt everybody. But Indigo Park kind of moves away from that common trope, because maybe it wasn't mainly an evil corporation. Maybe one of the mascots, not Ramsley, but one of the other mascots who we have yet to meet properly, may be the ultimate cause of just everything. The real reason why Indigo Park is just falling downhill. That's what I think. That possibly may not be the direction that the developers may go if they decide to continue this series. But that's what I'm hoping for. Well, that's what I theorize. And, you guys let me know your thoughts about Indigo Park. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I'm looking at the recording time on my phone. Like, this was supposed to be a 10-minute video. Here it is, 23 minutes. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Sometimes when it comes to these discussion videos, I just like to really talk and let you guys know what I'm talking about, how I feel deep down. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I'm getting done wasting y'all time. So yeah, guys, that's it. And be sure to like and subscribe, and also stay tuned, because come next week I'm gonna be doing a versus video. I haven't done one in about 6 months. Like, if you guys would look at my videos, the last one I did was Freddy versus Huggy Wuggy, and that video has 500 views. My second most successful video to date. Like thank you guys for that, seriously. So yeah, be sure to look out for that video come next week. And come later today, or tomorrow, or Sunday, I'm gonna have a different type of video, guys, ready for you guys. So yeah, this has been your King Gregory the Third. Peace.